Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to this broadcast with uh, uh, with us here at Central Christian Center. I'm Doug Wilkerson. An encouraging word with Doug, and uh, I'm I'm so glad that you're here. Um, I I appreciate you being here. I know I'm running a little late. Multiple complications. That seem to run me late. Hopefully, this will be all right. And for you that are watching on replay, then it should be no problem whatsoever. And so, my title for today is 10 Ways to Build Resilience. I've been talking about resilience, and I think I said maybe last week that I was going to be talking on building resilience. So I've got some things to talk about here about building resilience. Got 10 things, and this is from the American Psychological Association. And this is also on the topic that we've been talking about is building the science of resilience. And the topic that we've been going on, this is part 6 of the science of happiness. So again, welcome, and we'll see how this goes. I've debated about cutting some of this stuff out, but we'll see how it is. We may stop short. I don't want to go too long, and so. I want to start off with a quote here by Gandhi. He says, "The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in service of others." That's such a vital point here that is about resiliency. It's not all about you, and it's not all about me. It's all about what that connection we do for others, because when we give, we also receive. That's spiritual law. So, building how to build resilience. We all face trauma, some large, some small. We have stuff coming at us all the time, adversity and other stressors. Today, here's a roadmap, okay, something to help us kind of maybe find our way or see some things a little more clearly for adapting to life's changes and challenges and the situations of life. And hopefully that we will emerge even stronger, that's the desire, than we were before. As I was thinking about this, I was thinking about resilience or resiliency. Anyway, and I come up with 3 words, and that's purpose, significance, and meaning. And if you look them up, they use those 3 words to explain each other. If you look it up, I've got some definitions here. And purpose means a sense of core goals, aims, and direction in life. I like this quote from Dr. Jordan Peterson. He says, "The purpose of life is finding the largest burden that you can bear and bearing it." I thought that's a good way to define purpose, okay? Because that does something to us, that feeds us, that gives us some fulfillment when we carry that burden, okay? Significance, definition of significance. It's about a sense of life's inherent values and having life worth living. So we want to have life worth living. That's what the dictionary had to say. Significance. Meaning, I looked up meaning, and it had meaning, sense, significance, and purpose. Viktor Frankl's definition of meaning, according to him, is the meaning of life is to be discovered in the world rather than within man. Interesting statement. And his own psyche as though it is a closed system. We'll talk about that in a minute. The meaning of life always changes, but it never ceases to be. I think that's a tremendous statement there about the spirit of life, life-giving force that's in all of us, which never ceases to be. I really liked this several years ago when I discovered this out of Dr. Frankl, that the meaning of life is discovering in the world rather than within man. Oftentimes, we look for that purpose inside of us. Yes, it can be a skill, it can be a talent, but the fact of it is, it's really, as Gandhi pointed out, it's really in service of others, and that's that life-giving flow of exchange. And this goes right to resiliency, and we'll be talking more about that here in a minute. And so, another quote from Dr. Frankl, and it is, even more people today have the means to live, has the means to live, but no meaning to live for. Slow on that delivery there. Sorry about that. But we have the means to live. We have the ability to live, but we don't have anything to live for. And that's what he found in Man's Search for Meaning in his book, was the indication that if you didn't have something to live for, then you didn't live. You just would give up. When they lose their purpose or their sense of purpose, then people would just start shutting down. Your immune system wouldn't function anymore, and disease can overtake you. You just give up, and your body shuts down. Thomas Aquinas said this. He says, "There is within every soul a thirst for happiness and meaning." And we all have that thirst for happiness and meaning. And really, without meaning, we don't really have any happiness. So, anyway, we're again, this is in relationship to the science of happiness that we'll be covering a little more. But this is just a small piece that I felt a need to learn more about resilience, and I am learning a lot. So, I got another statement, actually a quote from Jordan Peterson, and this is his rule number 7 from his book of the 12 Rules of Life, and it's pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. So we need to really find those things that are meaningful, and this meaningful mindset is really what gives us that resiliency. And the definition of resiliency is to be able to bounce back, to recover quickly, okay, to return back to that the original shape, and or even better. Anyway, according to the Bible, it is to know God through Jesus Christ. This is out of John 17:3. Luke 12:23. The meaning of life is not based on things we see in the world. Okay, the scripture is this: for life is more than food, and the body more than clothing. It's more than material things. It's more than what we see. Okay, Matthew 6:33, This is out of the ESV translation. He says, "But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness." The big thing is seek him first. Turn towards him. And the rest of that is, if we do that, then, according to the scriptures here, all these other things will be added unto you. We do. I like what Stephen Covey always, one of his principles was, do first things first. And that's what I thought of as I read that. According to the American Psychiatric Association report here, the road of resilience, being resilient does not mean that a person doesn't experience difficulty or distress. Painful emotions and sadness are common to people that suffer major events in their life, okay, adverse events. In fact, the road of resilience is likely to involve considerable emotional distress. Resilience is not a trait that people either have or don't have. It involves behaviors, thoughts, and actions that can be learned and developed in anyone. These are things that we learn. So if you say you're not resilient, you can learn that. We all can learn that. You have to make some choices here. And fortunately, tonight I have, or today, whichever you're hearing this, I have 10 ways to build resilience. Okay, I'm going to see if I can go through them pretty quickly here. Okay, number one, make connection. Okay, accepting help and support from other people that care about you and that will listen to you and that will strengthen you in your resilience. Okay, make connections. So very important. We, as we say in the recovery area, we cannot recover alone. And that applies to all of us because we're all really in the recovery movement. Are we not? Number two, avoid seeing crisis as insurmountable problem. Okay? We have to begin to see things differently. People harass me all the time because I talk about problems as being opportunities, which I call, if they're really significant, then I call them golden opportunities, because it's so important to change how we look at things. I think it's Niels Bohr that said this, and I know also Dr. Wayne Dyer said this. Niels Bohr was a scientist. He was on the beginning of the quantum physics. He said, when you change to the way you look at things, the things you look at begin to change. That's quantum physics. That's also faith. Exactly what the scriptures talk about. So avoid seeing crisis as insurmountable problems. Try looking beyond the present. Okay, that's faith. That's eyes of seeing those things as they were not. Okay, seeing those things as they were, even though they were not. To how the future circumstances may be better for you. Oftentimes people can't see that things will be better. They say, well, they can't be better. Well, what if? What if they could? What if they were? What if you had the opportunity to see things differently? Because you know what? We find things that we're looking for. Our brain automatically selects what we've already pre-programmed it with. So what if we start changing the program? And that's what we're talking about here, about being able to be resilient. Okay, just saying. Some of these things will hit you, some of them won't. Number 3, accept the change. Accept that change is part of life or living. Change is going to happen. It is continual. Okay, accept circumstances that cannot be changed. Okay, there are some circumstances that cannot be changed. So we have to accept them. And that will position you to be able to accept the things that can be changed so we can focus on them and so that we can alter them, because you can't change what you don't accept. How many times have you heard me say that? So we don't have to like it. We have to accept it. That's reality. And when we accept it, then we're able then to affect it. Okay, that's what we're talking about. Number 4, move towards your goals. Move towards your goals. Do something regularly. Man, if you'll just do a little something regularly, that helps you in so many ways. That routine has an effect in us mentally and physically and emotionally. So do something regularly, even if it seems small and insignificant. One small step, okay? All right? Whether it's, making your bed every day before you leave, or picking up trash between, when you're walking into work, or just do one little thing. Here a few weeks ago, I talked about the act of kindness, how it affects you chemically and how it affects others. And so just doing one small thing begins to start an effect in you, okay, even though it seems small. And that enables you then to move towards your goal, whether it's related or unrelated. Okay. Number 6, look for opportunities for self-discovery. People often learn something about themselves and may find that they grow in many different aspects as a result of the struggles when they suffer some loss. We learn so much about ourselves. We in that struggle. Sometimes we get aha moments. Sometimes we didn't think we were going to make it, but we did make it. We don't know how we made it, but we did. And once you've made it in that arena, you can use that as evidence for those things that are in your life. That's building resilience. Number 7, nurture a positive view of yourself. Develop confidence in your ability to solve problems. Oh, that's good. That's good. And trust your intuitions, and this builds your resilience. Okay. So we need to, oftentimes we just go right through things. We need to recognize that the things that we have done correctly. We need to take time at the end of the day to think about, I like that one exercise. I've talked about it from, I can't think of his name at the moment. But anyway, he's the one that started the science of happiness. It'll come to me. But anyway, he said that the exercise he liked was, it's not exactly like the gratefulness exercise. His approach is find one thing that you did right today and appreciate that. Be thankful for that. Okay, and remember that, because oftentimes we always remember the mistakes, the problems, the issues, the failures, but we rarely remember what we did right. And we do a lot of things right. If you didn't, you wouldn't have survived. You wouldn't have lived today. You wouldn't have made it to watch this video. Okay, so you've done a lot right. Number 8, keep things in perspective, even when you're facing very painful events. Keep it in perspective. Oftentimes we get so focused in on the problem, and we get all wound up emotionally on that, and we narrow our vision and our experience down to this little thing here. But you know what? If you back up and take a bigger perspective, it changes how you feel. I heard that that the astronauts, one of the ways that when they were in space, how they dealt with some of their anxiety, this also built resilience for them, was to look at the Earth and take pictures of the Earth, and doing that small act help them to feel better and do better, and their body to function better. It did many different things. They were interested. They were focused. They shifted their thoughts from all the stuff that was going on to exactly what was happening. They were able to recognize the beauty, the splendor, the amazing reality of the space and Earth and everything that was going on. So I thought that was an interesting comment that I found this week. Number 9, maintain a hopeful outlook. We have to maintain a hopeful outlook. Well, how do you do that? You make a choice. And when your mind drags you down into that pit of despair, you can bring it back. I know it's hard, but the more you do it, the more you practice it, the better you get. Try it and see how that works. So one of the ways they say here is try visualizing what you want. See, the trouble is we visualize what we don't want. We always see the problem and how it's going to get us and eat us, okay, destroy us, all right? But here it says keep things in perspective by visualizing what you want, okay? I don't know. Number 9 is maintain a hopeful outlook. So instead of being worried about everything and letting fear grab us and control us and ramp up our blood pressure and our heartbeat and have the cortisol and adrenaline going, visualize what you want. Okay, what is it you want? Think about that. What is it you really, really, really want? Okay, think about that. Number 10, take care of yourself. So important. Take care of yourself. You need to take care of yourself. I heard Dr. Peterson probably a couple of years ago talk about a research that was done in North America of folks that went to the doctor and they were prescribed medication, and I think it was like 60% of those people that were prescribed medicine actually took it as it was prescribed. Either didn't take it right or didn't take the full course or whatever the case may be. They didn't do it correctly. But if they took their pet to the vet and the pet prescribed medication for the pet, it was up in the 90s, high 90s, that the people actually made sure that the pet took all the medicine as it was prescribed by the vet. Now, why is it that we love and treat our pets better than we treat ourselves? How's that question? Think about it. Okay? So, take care of yourself. Pay attention to your needs and how you feel, and engage in some activities that you enjoy and that can relax you. I like what Dr. Tal Ben Shahar says about stress. He says it's not stress that gets you, it's the lack of recovery. So we need to have times of recovery. Everything's cyclical. So hopefully you had a good holiday this past weekend, and want to invite you to be in church somewhere Sunday. If you don't have a church, you're always welcome here at Central Christian Center, and we'd love to have you. Anyway, may the Lord bless you and keep you, and may His face shine upon you and give you His peace. Make healthy choices. Until next time, hey, take care of yourself. Treat yourself like somebody that you do care and appreciate. All right? Be your best friend, not your worst enemy. Until next time, I'll see you.